On December 5th, 1984, two teenagers stumbled upon a body hidden beneath leaves in the woods of Long Island. The victim was 16-year-old Theresa Fusco, raped, beaten, strangled with a rope. Within months, 3 men were arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison. But the DNA told a different story, and the truth wouldn't surface for 40 years. It's November 10th, 1984. Lynbrook, Long Island, a working-class suburb 30 miles from Manhattan. Theresa Fusco is 16 years old. She's a junior at East Rockaway High School. Dark hair, quiet, the kind of teenager who works weekends to earn her own money. That Saturday night, she's working the snack bar at Hot Skates, a roller rink where every teenager in town hangs out. It's loud, it's packed, it's the center of their social world. But around 9:45 that evening, something goes wrong. Theresa has a disagreement with her assistant manager. The details aren't clear, but the outcome is she's fired. Witnesses say she leaves the rink in tears. Before she walks out, she makes one phone call from inside the building. To this day, no one knows who she called or what she said. At exactly 9:47 p.m., Theresa clocks out for the last time. She tells a friend she's planning to stop by another friend's house on her way home. It's less than a mile away. A short walk through familiar streets. Her mother, Connie, assumes Theresa will stay the night there. It's something she's done before. But the next morning, Theresa doesn't come home. Connie calls the friend's house. The friend says Theresa never showed up. She never made it. And no one knows where she went. For 3.5 weeks, Theresa Fusco is missing. Her parents search, the police search. Flyers go up across Lynbrook, but there's nothing. No witnesses, no leads, just silence. Then on December 5th, 1984, 2 teenagers are exploring a wooded area near the Long Island Railroad tracks. It's a place locals call the Fort, just half a mile from Hot Skates. They find something hidden under a pile of leaves and wooden shipping pallets. It's a body, naked, decomposed, left to rot in the November cold. The medical examiner confirms the worst. It's Theresa Fusco. She was beaten, raped, strangled with a rope roughly an inch thick, tightened around her neck. The autopsy is thorough. A vaginal swab is taken, standard procedure in sexual assault cases. It contains DNA evidence of the rape. But this is 1984. DNA profiling doesn't exist yet. The swab is preserved, but it can't be analyzed. Not yet. The cause of death is clear. The manner is brutal. But the killer? Unknown. And this isn't the first time. 5 months earlier in June 1984, a 15-year-old girl named Kelly Morrissey disappeared from the same area. She's never been found. 4 months after Theresa's murder, another girl, 19-year-old Jacqueline Martorella, will vanish while walking to work at Burger King. Her body will be discovered weeks later. Nude, strangled, raped. The community calls it the Lynbrook Triangle. 3 girls, 9 months, all gone. Fear grips the neighborhood. Parents warn their daughters not to walk alone. Schools issue safety bulletins. Police tell the public they're looking for a gang of sex murderers. The pressure to solve Theresa's case is immense. And that pressure is about to create a nightmare far worse than anyone imagined. In January 1985, 2 months after Theresa's body is found, Detective Joseph Volpe catches a break. Or so he thinks. A man named Harold Smile, who has a documented history of mental illness and PTSD, makes a vague, suspicious statement about the murder. Volpe interrogates him hard. Eventually, Smile tells police that a man named John Restivo knows something. It's thin, it's secondhand, but it's enough for Volpe. On March 5th, 1985, John Restivo is surrounded by detectives on the street and brought to police headquarters. He's 26 years old. He's terrified. For 24 hours, he's interrogated without a lawyer. He asked to call his girlfriend. Denied. He asked to leave. Denied. According to later court testimony, Restivo is beaten, choked, threatened. Under this pressure, he cracks. He implicates another man, Dennis Halstead. Police obtain a wiretap on Halstead's phone. On one 20-second recording, Halstead says, "yeah," in response to a question about the killing. The context is unclear. but prosecutors will later use it as evidence. Then, on March 21st, Detective Volpe brings in a third man, John Kogut, 21 years old, a gardener. Kogut is interrogated for 18 hours straight. Volpe tells him he failed a polygraph test. He didn't take one. Volpe tells him they already have scientific proof of his guilt. They don't. After 18 hours of threats and lies, Kogut signs a confession. It's handwritten by one of the detectives. In it, he says he, Restivo, and Halstead abducted, raped, and murdered Theresa Fusco together. He later says the confession is false, coerced, a lie told under unbearable pressure. But it's too late. In May 1986, John Kogut is convicted of rape and murder. He's sentenced to 33 years to life. In November 1986, Restivo and Halstead are tried together. They're both convicted, both sentenced to over 30 years. The prosecution's case rests on three things: Kogut's confession, testimony from jailhouse informants, inmates who claim the men bragged about the crime, and hairs allegedly found in Restivo's van that matched Theresa's. All three men maintain their innocence. Their families believe them, but no one listens. And then there's the evidence no one talks about: the vaginal swab, the one collected during Theresa's autopsy, the one that contains DNA from her killer. It sits in storage, untested, ignored. But here's the problem. In 2003, 18 years after the convictions, an attorney named Nina Morrison, working for the New York Innocence Project, finds that swab. She arranges for DNA testing, and the results are devastating. The semen found on Theresa Fusco's body does not match John Kogut. It does not match John Restivo. It does not match Dennis Halstead. Not even close. The DNA belongs to someone else, someone who was never investigated, someone who got away. Let that sink in. Three men spent nearly 2 decades in prison for a crime they didn't commit. And the real killer? He walked free. In June 2003, all three men are released. Their convictions are vacated. They're exonerated. But the nightmare isn't over. In 2005, prosecutors try to retry John Kogut anyway. They claim the DNA evidence doesn't prove innocence. They build a new theory. It's weak. It's desperate. After a 3-month trial, a judge finds Kogut not guilty on all counts. He notes that numerous aspects of the confession were contradicted by DNA and forensic evidence. The charges against Restivo and Halstead are dropped. In 2014, a civil jury awards Restivo and Halstead $36 million, $18 million each, for the wrongful convictions, $1 million for every year they lost. It's one of the largest wrongful conviction settlements in U.S. history. But here's the haunting part. The case goes cold. Again. The DNA from Theresa's body is in the system, but it doesn't match anyone in the criminal databases. There are no new leads, no arrests, no justice. Theresa's mother, Connie, dies in 2019. She never learns who killed her daughter. Her father, Thomas, grows older. He carries a laminated photo of Theresa in his jacket pocket. He waits. For years, it seems like the case will never be solved. But in 2023, something changes. The Nassau County Medical Examiner's Office partners with the FBI. They send the original biological evidence to a private lab in Texas called Othram. Othram specializes in something called forensic genetic genealogy. It's cutting edge. It uses comprehensive DNA sequencing and consumer genealogy databases, the same ones people use to find distant relatives. Othram builds a detailed DNA profile from the evidence. The FBI's genealogy team uses that profile to search for relatives of the unknown killer. And they get a hit. Not a direct match, but a family connection. The investigation narrows. Detectives follow the genetic trail, and it leads them to a man named Richard Bilodeau. In 1984, Bilodeau was 23 years old. He lived with his grandparents in Lynbrook, just 1 mile from Hot Skates, 1 mile from where Theresa lived. He told investigators he operated a mobile coffee truck in the area, but none of Theresa's friends or family remember ever seeing him. There's no known connection between them. Still, he was there, right there, in the same neighborhood, at the same time. And for 40 years, no one looked at him. Detectives begin surveillance. They follow Bilodeau for months. He's now 63 years old. He lives in Center Moricas, about 60 miles from Lynbrook. He works the night shift at a Walmart. He's lived a quiet, unremarkable life. No criminal record, no arrests. But investigators need one more piece of evidence to confirm what the genealogy suggests. They need his DNA. In February 2025, Bilodeau visits a tropical smoothie cafe near his home. He orders a smoothie, he drinks it, he throws the cup in the trash, and detectives retrieve it. The straw is brought to the medical examiner's office. DNA is extracted. It's compared to the DNA from Theresa's body. It's a match. After 40 years, they have him. On October 14, 2025, Richard Bilodeau is arrested. He's charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, one for the killing itself, one for murder during the commission of rape. The next day, he's arraigned in Nassau County Court. He pleads not guilty. When investigators confronted him with the DNA evidence, Bilodeau denied knowing Theresa Fusco. He denied any involvement. But then he said something strange. People got away with murder back then. Prosecutors called it consciousness of guilt. A slip. An admission wrapped in nostalgia for a time when forensic science couldn't catch him. Nassau County District Attorney Ann Donnelly had a response. "It's 2025, she said, and I got you now." At the arraignment, Thomas Fusco sits in the courtroom. He's elderly now. He uses a cane. He clutches that laminated photo of his daughter. When the prosecutor describes Theresa clocking out of hot skates for the last time, Thomas begins to cry. He later tells reporters, "I loved her. I miss her. She lives in my heart." His wife Connie never got to see this day. She died 6 years too soon. John Kogut, John Restivo, and Dennis Halstead, the 3 wrongfully convicted men, spent a combined 60 years in prison for a crime they didn't commit. Kogut lost his 20s and 30s. Restivo lost 30 pounds during his trial from stress. Restivo's family wrote him letters of encouragement for 2 decades, knowing he was innocent. They were freed in 2003, but it took until 2014 to receive compensation. And even now, the shadow of that wrongful conviction hangs over the case. Bilodeau's defense attorney argues that the history of error in this case should give the court pause. This county convicted 3 men, he says. They served 20 years before being exonerated. If any case deserves the presumption of innocence, it's this one. Why? It's a fair point, but the DNA doesn't lie. As of today, February 2026, Richard Bilodeau remains in custody. His trial has not yet begun. He faces up to 25 years to life. And there are still unanswered questions. What about Kelly Morrissey? She disappeared 5 months before Theresa. She's still missing. Was Bilodeau involved? What about Jacqueline Martorella? She was murdered 4 months after Theresa. Same method, same brutality. Was that Bilodeau too? We may never know. But what we do know is this. For 40 years, the wrong men paid the price. For 40 years, a killer walked free. For 40 years, a family waited for the truth. And in the end, it was a discarded smoothie cup and the relentless march of science that brought him down. Theresa Fusco deserved better. She deserved justice in 1984. But at least now, her father can hold that photo and know the truth. The nightmare is over. What do you think? Could Richard Bilodeau be connected to the other disappearances? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story moved you, consider subscribing. There are more untold cases like this, and they deserve to be heard.